In this tutorial we're going to take a look at how do we add text to our canvas, and then also after we've added the text, how can we apply layer styles. And we're going to do this just simply by coming down here and clicking on our type tool, and wherever you click on your canvas a text box is automatically going to be made and a new layer is automatically going to be created for you, so you don't have to make the new layer ahead of time. So we're just going to go ahead and click on our canvas, and I'm just going to type hello world. And you'll notice right now that my text is black on a black background, so I can't see it. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my text. I'm going to change this color to white. And I'm going to go ahead and center this text. I'm going to choose a font that maybe is just a little bit different. Can change the size here as well. I don't have a ton of options. I can change a few things, and once I get that, the alignment, my color, my font, my size all adjusted, I can just hit OK, and then I can move this just like any other element on any other layer, and I can see that this text layer actually has a little thumbnail here that it shows a little A, so this shows me that it's text. If I want to go back in and edit this text, I can just simply come back to my type tool, click on my text, and that text box will show up. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here on a second canvas, just so you can start to see the differences between white text on a black background, black text on a white background, and then some of the layer styles that can be adjusted. So I'm going to come back here on my second canvas, my type tool, and you'll see that if I want text on a second line, I'm going to have to hit the word enter. I'm going to go ahead and just change the font with this one, make this look just a little bit different. So now that I have my text, you can just see that they both stand out. They contrast well against their backgrounds. But what if I want to make these pop? What if I want to give this text some depth and dimension? I'm going to go ahead and start here with my white text on my black background. And because that text was created as its own layer, what I can do is I can apply a layer style to this text. And that's done right down here. And we talked about this in a previous lesson. So if I just click the box, the layer style is applied, but you have no idea what's actually applied. So what I want to do is actually click on the text, and what I get is I get my submenu. Well, right now my drop shadow for this text is actually black, so I can't see my shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and just change my drop shadow to white, and now you can see that this white text actually has a white drop shadow. Not quite as good with a drop shadow with white on white. I'll show you what that looks like over here with black text here in a second. But maybe with something like this, I want to do maybe an outer glow. And I can see that this starts to have a little bit of a blue glow. Let's say I want to change that glow to yellow, just to make that stand out a little bit. I can see that as I change my size, the hardness of that, and the opacity is how much it's see-through or not see-through. So if it's 100% opaque, it means that it's not see-through. As I change the opacity, it's more and more see-through. So any of these would give me a different look. I can apply any or all of these layer styles all to that text to give it a different look. So I can see that as I change some of these, I can change the way that this text looks here. You'll also notice that this layer now has this little starburst in the corner, and if I click on that starburst, I can see that I can go in, and these aren't permanently applied styles. These are still editable layer styles that I could go in and change at any time. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this actually looks over here with black text and a white background. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a edge to it, and then I'm going to give it a drop shadow as well. So I'm going to come back to this canvas and apply that layer style again. Let me go ahead and give this one a drop shadow. You can see that this is more of like an actual shadow. So if there was a light or a sun over here and that text was actually off the page, you would see that this would actually have a little bit of a shadow to it. So here's where I can actually change the angle. I'm going to change the size. Give it just a little bit of a haze to it. And I want this a little bit closer. So now you can see that that actually has a little bit of a depth. It almost looks like those words are standing off the page. And I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a little bit of a outer glow as well. So right here, just with a couple of layer styles with this drop shadow and this outer glow, I can really make these words or this text stand off the page. So look at adding some text boxes. You could also take a look at changing the font, changing the size, changing the color, and then after that's done, you really want to make sure that you take some time and apply some layer styles to really make sure that your text has contrasted so it stands off of the background, but then also that you've added some layer styles that allow it to give it some depth and some dimension.